Let's get one thing straight right out the gate. You keep screaming, where's the loyalty? Where's the respect? She used me, man. But did you lead? Did you actually lead her anywhere worth being loyal to? Or were you just hoping your mediocre effort, your inconsistent discipline, your vague dreams of someday were gonna be enough to lock her down like a Disney movie? She doesn't owe you loyalty just because you like her. She doesn't owe you respect because you called her queen on Instagram. And she dang sure doesn't owe you commitment when you were still acting like a confused boy, hoping to get lucky. Because here's the brutal truth most guys never want to hear. You are not entitled to loyalty you didn't earn. Now, before we dive deep, like we always do, smash that like button so this reaches more men who need this wake-up call, because there's a whole army of guys walking around with their feelings hurt and no direction, thinking women are the problem when really it's a leadership crisis. Here's the thing. You didn't lead her anywhere. Let me paint the picture for you. You meet her, you're charming, funny, maybe you've been hitting the gym a bit, so you've got that post-breakup pump going on. She's into it. You're talking about your goals. She thinks, okay, maybe he's different. Fast forward 3 months. You are still working on it, still figuring it out, still thinking about starting something. Bro, she didn't sign up to be your life coach. She was hoping you were the kind of man who already had a direction, who just needed a woman who believed in him. Not a man who needs her to build him, motivate him, babysit him, and defend him while he's playing Xbox and scrolling TikTok in bed, eating those famous Cheetos with Cheeto dust all over his chest. You can't expect loyalty when you haven't earned respect. And respect comes from leadership, not control, not manipulation, not emotional outbursts or empty promises. Leadership. You set the tone. You show her where you're going. You live with discipline. You lead yourself first so you can lead others. Most guys don't have a women problem. They have a direction problem. They have a consistency problem. They have a why the heck am I here problem. If you can't answer that, don't be surprised when she stops following. And let me ask you this. If a woman joined your life right now, the woman of your dreams, what would she be walking into? What systems do you have? What routines? What values? What vision? Or is it chaos? Is it impulsive, late nights, energy drinks, and half-started projects? Are you all potential, no product? You want to know why that alpha energy you used to have disappeared? Because you're not producing results. You're living off your promise, and promises without proof expire fast. You keep thinking loyalty means she should stay while you just figure it out for the next 20 years. No, loyalty means she sees who you are, where you're going, and says, I believe in that mission, and I want to be a part of that mission. But if there's no mission, there's no loyalty, there's just convenience, and convenience is disposable. Yeah, let me be really clear. Leadership is not about being perfect. You don't need to be a millionaire. You don't need to have six-pack abs, a yacht, and a Lambo with suicide doors. You just need direction and discipline. That's it. You need to be the man who wakes up with purpose, who trains even when no one's watching, who works even when it's boring, who keeps his word, who makes decisions, who's building something real brick by brick by brick. You don't need to have it all, but you better be going somewhere worth going, because she's watching you. And not your words, your habits. Not your promises, your patterns. When you skip the gym, guess what? She notices. When you hit snooze 3 times, she notices. When you talk big but act small, guess what? She notices. You are teaching her what's safe to trust. You are showing her what to follow. You are setting the tone for the relationship. Leadership isn't about being in charge. It's about being in control of yourself, holding your standards high. Let me hit you with something real. If your girl constantly has to pick the restaurant, plan the dates, manage the calendar, and remind you of appointments, you are not leading. You are being mothered. And no woman wants to make love to a man she has to mother. You want a queen? Then build the damn kingdom and be the king. Don't just post about it. Don't just journal it. Create systems, build wealth, structure your fitness, lead your friends, hold your boundaries, think long term. And when she sees you do that, she naturally follows. Not because you told her to, but because women are biologically wired to follow strong, stable, forward-moving leadership. Yeah, that was big. But here's the dangerous part. If you don't lead, she'll either leave or she'll lead you. And if she leaves you, resentment builds. She loses attraction, she questions everything, and eventually she finds a man who doesn't hesitate. And you'll sit there wondering why she changed. No, bro, she didn't change. You stopped being a man she could admire. You thought your loyalty deserved loyalty in return. But real talk, loyalty is currency in a relationship. And like any currency, it's only worth something when it's backed by what? By value. Are you valuable? I don't mean, do you feel valuable? I mean, are you useful to a mission? Are you creating progress? Are you developing mastery? Are you moving forward in your life? If the answer is no, then stop whining about why she stopped caring. She didn't owe you loyalty without leadership. And she wasn't disloyal for walking away from a man who couldn't lead himself. Let that sting. Let it burn, because you can change. You are not stuck. You are just undisciplined. You are not unlucky. You are just unfocused. You are not heartbroken. You are just finally seeing who you are without the fantasy. And now it's time to rise. Time to stop playing the victim. Time to build the body, stack that cash, develop the frame, set the vision, live the values. Be the man who commands loyalty, not with words, but with actions. Because when you become that man, you won't need to beg for loyalty. You'll attract it without trying. You'll lead, and the right woman will follow. Not because she owes you anything, but because you became the kind of man who never had to ask twice. Till the next one. Peace.